was a typical morning for single mom Stacy Hall, making breakfast and getting her family ready for the day, until the bottom dropped out.
I heard this horrendous scream.
It came from one of her daughters.
She just came tearing down the stairs, tears. Mom, Adam's not breathing and his lips are blue.
Paramedics worked on Adam for 30 minutes, but it was too late. Stacy's teenage son was dead from an overdose of prescription drugs. Adam is just one of the many victims of the epidemic of prescription drug misuse. Every year, 2 million kids take pills not prescribed to them.
It is a problem. Prescription substance abuse is the growing abuse that we're seeing now.
Abusing prescription drugs can be just as dangerous, addictive, and even deadly as using street drugs.
Because our kids today think that prescription drugs are safe because they come from a doctor, when in fact they're just as dangerous as illegal drugs like heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamine. You know, we have 1 in 4 of our students in high schools in Arizona are abusing prescription drugs.
According to drug prevention and law enforcement experts, it's not difficult for our kids to obtain prescription drugs.
There's a number of different ways you can get prescription drugs illegally. That includes over the internet, over in Mexico, or from the drug dealer on the street.
But most kids get drugs from friends and from the medicine cabinet. All types of prescription and over-the-counter medicines are being abused, from pain relievers and stimulants to cold medicine and sleeping pills. According to DrugFreeAZKids.org, one of the factors behind this epidemic of prescription drug abuse is the misconception they're safer than street drugs such as meth or heroin. Kids think they're sanitized, created in a medical lab. They think they're sanctioned by society norms and safe because the FDA okays them.
My daughter, who is 16, she said, "Mom, it's a trend. You go to a party, you just take some pills because it's the thing to do."
The good news is we're not powerless against this problem. We can take action to stop the epidemic of prescription drug abuse.
We can succeed when we work together with education, treatment, prevention, and law enforcement, and that will make a difference for our children.
In order to be successful, parents must take action. First, educate yourself about medications kids are abusing. DrugFreeAZ.org has online resources dedicated to helping you understand which drugs are abused and why. Next, communicate with your own kids and the kids in your life about the risks of misusing prescription drugs. DrugFreeAZ.org can help you begin that dialogue with your children. Research shows teens who learn a lot about the dangers of drugs from their parents are up to 50% less likely to use drugs. Take this advice from people who know. Don't wait, start early.
The most important thing is start talking to your kids, and don't wait till they're 8th and 9th grade, 5th, 6th grade, elementary age kids.
It's very, very important to do that. Don't say, "Oh, my son or my daughter doesn't do this." Don't ever think that way.
Furthermore, pay attention to your children's behavior. There could be signs they're already abusing prescription drugs.
If there's anything they deviate from what you think is normal. Now, adolescents will be adolescents. We were there at one point. But if all of a sudden, if it deviates from that, excessive depression or separation, or they didn't want to talk to anybody, things like that is what you need to be aware of.
And if you suspect something, as a parent, you have every right to say, "Hey, look, I do want to go through your stuff."
Take action by safeguarding all medications at home. Ask your friends and neighbors to do the same.
Don't put it in the obvious places. Everybody puts it in, in their bathroom cabinet, in the nightstand, in the pantry. Just be a little bit more creative than that.
Another tactic in stopping the epidemic of prescription drug abuse is don't leave unneeded or expired pills around, thinking you might use them someday. You want to dispose of medications promptly and properly. That means not just throwing them away. You want to put the pills in a plastic bag and crush them.
And then mix it with an undesirable item. That's the key. Undesirable items like coffee grounds, for example, kitty litter, when you're going to throw it away. That's a great way of disposing of it, and throw it in the trash.
You also want to properly dispose of the prescription pill bottles.
You can do one or two things. If you're able to peel off the label and it'll look something like this, then throw this away. This is safe to throw it away. But if you cannot, get a Sharpie and literally cross off your name, or whoever the prescriber's name is, the prescription, the item number, and the date. And then you can throw it away.
Accepting the fact there is a prescription drug epidemic is the first step in eradicating this problem. Knowing that children want and need our guidance is another. and also realizing that all children can be affected by this epidemic. Stacy Hall knows that all too well.
Don't think it can't happen to you. Not for 1 second. Don't ever say, I mean, your child could be on the honor roll and in the all-star baseball program or football team. It can touch them just as it can touch any other child from any walk of life.
Take the next step and stay connected by going to DrugFreeAZ.org/RX to help prevent your children from misusing prescription drugs.